This is a script for an idea for a film, preferably animated, of an intense dramatization of the book of Genesis. I am a composer, and all the music for the audio mock-up is produced by me. But I am neither an animator or a film producer. So, unless I find some talented folks willing to partner up with, or willing to buy the idea, it'll just be audio, and you'll have to use your imagination. The score for Creation and The Temptation was originally created for a video game that was never completed, but I didn't want to trash the compositions, so I decided to repurpose them in a Bible-based drama. But the idea kept getting bigger, evolving into potentially a multi-episode series. This dramatization of Genesis is much different than the typical verse-by-verse, that focuses primarily on the prophetic messages and presented in a way that is easy to understand for someone who has never read the Bible. This dramatic retelling uses compilation of supernatural revelation from dreams, visions, and words of knowledge in a narrative form. Some added details come from the Antiquities of the Jews by Flavius Josephus and commentary of multiple scholars who know a lot more than I do. The artistic liberty is stuff not from my wild imagination, but heavily researched and prayed about, and it is subject to change with new revelation. Pseudepigraphal works like the Book of Jasher and the Book of Enoch are disregarded. Even Josephus' words and commentary are taken with a grain of salt. If there is anything presented that is unbiblical, then please leave a respectful comment. If you just thumbs down, but don't say anything as to why, not sure how that's helpful. Some of the things presented are controversial. It is not sugar-coated. Some of the content would be too intense for young children. The target audience is of the teenage, young adult age. It assumes some knowledge about World War II. The main point driven is that God's Word has very much relevance to modern time. These stories in Genesis are not just stories, but literal historical events containing deep prophetic messages. The drama follows Ian, a young agnostic man who is taken under the wing of a retired Messianic rabbi, Dan, who recounts the stories of Genesis to him. While Ian and Dan are talking, Ian receives visions as if he were transported back in time to witness the events of the ancient past, and not so distant future. It seems that 2D anime would be the most appropriate, given the seriousness of it. Other animation styles wouldn't work, I think. Though I am a composer and have the gift of teaching, I know next to nothing about animation. It would be best to have someone else who knows what they're doing to refine and finish it. If done well, it could very well be the most powerful Bible-based anime ever produced. I don't really care if I make a dime on it. It's all about furthering God's kingdom. If I do make any money from it, it'll all be reinvested back into the ministry for stuff like printing gospel tracts or donated to other ministries. If just one person gets saved from all this blood, sweat, and tears put into this, it's worth it. But it's way too much for one person. Kind of like how Moses was hearing all the cases of the people, and Jethro said to him, "You're doing too much. I should stick with what I'm good at, which is music and teaching, and pass on this idea of an anime to someone else who can finish it."